Well, let's bring in Republican strategist Brian Graham to the conversation. He's in Jacksonville, Florida today. Always good to have him on the program. Brian, what do you think about this? Is McMaster in or out?
I'm not sure what to say about that. The statement from, Huckabee was not really direct in answering the question whether he was going to stay or not.
For HR McMaster to be put in this position, what do you think he's thinking today, Brian?
Look, there's been a lot of people put in this position from the Trump White House, and it's really, something that's completely avoidable and should really never be an issue. You should not be worrying every day about who is coming and who is going from the White House. They really need some stability so they can focus and get the message back on their agenda, which, as you've seen, when President Trump is focused on foreign policy, was focused on tax cuts, when he's focused on the policies which have been, relatively popular, his numbers go up. When he's focused on turmoil like this, his numbers will go down.
McMaster is a three-star general, as you know, and, this is a guy who a lot of people felt was a bit of a moderating influence on Donald Trump, would help him pull back from some of the more extreme positions that he had. Some critics of the president said McMaster was one of the adults in the room, so to speak. Why would he be pushed out? What's going on behind the scenes?
Well, they've said that about John Kelly as well. They've said that about a lot of people who have, been in the White House. And John Kelly, was rumored to be leaving, but Kelly, seems to be sticking around. McMaster could be the same thing. Really not sure yet. I do believe McMaster is an asset to the president. I think that he's done a good job. I think he has a cool head. And he's known as someone who speaks his mind. And quite frankly, the president needs people around him that aren't yes men. He needs people around him that will tell him the truth and tell him when he needs to be aggressive and when he needs to calm down. That's what he needs in this White House, people that speak their mind. So McMaster is an asset for him.
All right, let's go from McMaster to an adult film star, Stormy Daniels, because this is just the way things are in 2018 when it comes to U.S. politics. And I'm curious what you make of this here. There's a 60 Minutes interview that this woman did on CBS, and some of the details are set to be released as well. There's this lawsuit back and forth going on. She says she was paid $130,000 in hush money because she had an affair with Donald Trump. And, and you see Donald Trump's personal lawyer, Michael Cohen, with an injunction trying to stop her from going public. What's happening on this, Brian?
We go from HR McMaster to a porn star. Love it. Look, when you're talking about Stormy Daniels, there's many issues that come to play here. Is this something that's politically problematic for Donald Trump? Yes, to some degree, but a lot of things have been said about Donald Trump, and none of it has really seemed to stick. In regards to Stormy Daniels, look, she signed an agreement. She agreed to be quiet. She took the money, so she really has to be quiet. If you're looking from a legal standpoint, she really should not be saying much. I know that if I signed a confidentiality agreement, which I do with a lot of my clients, or if I signed a separate one and was paid money to do so, I would have to keep quiet.
One final thing, and her attorney is saying that she faced physical threats as well amidst all this. She has said, Brian, as you know, I'll give that money back, or I'll give that money to charity. The American people deserve to know what happened here. And in fact, there could be other women as well who have had affairs with Donald Trump. Does this stick to the president or not?
Well, that's the big question. And quite frankly, Stormy Daniels can give the money wherever she wants to give the money, but she was paid to be quiet, allegedly. And if that's the case, then she has to be quiet. I don't know if this will, and she can choose whatever, but she could be sued if she is not quiet. But as far as will it stick to Donald Trump, I'm not sure. The interview where he talked about grabbing women, didn't really seem to stick and affect him that much. All these other women during the campaign saying that he sexually harassed them really didn't stick. I think that a lot of the American public, the voting public, doesn't necessarily believe a lot of people because there's been so many outrageous accusations. And I think there's a distrust of the media in general in the United States because, in the U.S., our media outlets are either far right or far left.
Brian, always good to have you with us here in Canada. Thank you for taking a bit of time today from your schedule.
Thank you.